Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another book recommendation by coloured cover video. So I started this last year. I have done a red covers and I have done a green covers, and I went back to my original video where people had suggested book covers that they wanted to see, and I think it was Tracy who said that she would like orange covers because they were kind of hard to find. So that's what I've gone with, and I agree. They are very hard to find. And what I found was that the majority of them were either black with orange accents, or they were mostly half-dressed people and that's why they were orange. And they are not always my favourite covers. So my criteria for selecting books, they had to be books that I enjoyed, and they had to be books where orange is the predominant colour on the cover. So we are going to talk about 5 books plus one honourable mention because it's not quite orange, but it's close enough that I wanted to throw it in here. So the first book I wanted to mention was A Match Made for Thanksgiving by Jackie Lau. This is the first book in Holidays with the Wongs, I believe. And this is about Nick and Lily, who have a one-night stand and they think that's it. And then Nick goes home for the holidays for Thanksgiving dinner with his family and finds out that his parents have been matchmaking and that Lily is at the dinner, but she has been matched with his brother. And so this makes for a very entertaining dinner. And then Nick and Lily also reconnecting and deciding that maybe a one-night stand wasn't enough for them. It was really fun and really funny, and I absolutely adored it. I need to come back to this series because it was great. I don't think any of the rest of these books will be a surprise to anyone who's followed my channel for any point of time, but we're going to go through them anyway. There is Resting Witch Face by Juliette Cross, which is kind of more an orangey yellow color, but it's close enough to orange that I'm going to accept it. I love all of the designs of these books. In fact, I could probably almost put one of the Stay a Spell books on every coloured recommendation video because there are that many colours. This one happens to be book 5 in the series, and it is Jules and Ruben's story, which has been building through the course of the series to the point where we want to know why these two require a second chance romance. Jules is a very powerful witch, Ruben is a very powerful vampire, and we know that in the past they had a relationship, it went south, and they've been very reluctant to be around each other throughout the course of the series, and then they are forced to work together quite closely in this book and to confront their history and potentially their future as well. So really enjoyable series, very funny, very entertaining, just a really great contemporary paranormal romance series to read. Then there is Not My Type by Evie Mitchell. This happens to be the special edition cover, which is maybe cheating because the original cover is teal and not orange. But this orange cover is just too beautiful to pass up. And this is book 1 in the All Access series that is about Frankie and Jay. Frankie runs a sex positive, inclusive podcast where people send in questions, and she happens to get a question around rope play and inclusivity. And being in a wheelchair and never having explored rope play, she's not sure about that, so she goes out to find an expert, and that's how she meets Jay, who teaches classes on shibari. And so he invites her to one of his classes, and she is the model for the class, and even though they don't think that they've got a chance at a relationship, they decide to just date for a period of time and explore the chemistry that they have. I will say Jay does have some hang-ups from a past relationship that were really bad, so that does impact the third act in this story, but I loved how sex positive this was, and I just love how inclusive Evie is and how she builds all of these characters who reflect the real world, not just the fantasy romance world. And it was great. There is also The Demon's Bargain by Katee Robert. This is the paperback edition, which is beautiful and orange. This novella takes place in 2 series, so it is book 2 in the Peculiar Tastes series, and it is book 4 in Katee's A Deal with a Demon series. It is about a witch, Lenora, who has lost a family heirloom to an ex-boyfriend, and she desperately needs to get it back. So she makes a deal with the demon Ramanu, and together they need to work out a plan to get it back. Ramanu is a bargainer demon, and they are used to getting exactly what they want. They've been keeping an eye on Lenora for a while, and now they have the opportunity to get exactly what they want by helping her solve her problem. Short, very steamy. This is my favorite book in the A Deal with a Demon series by Katee Robert. The other books I've enjoyed but haven't worked for me for various reasons, but this one was just top tier great. And then there is Moonstruck by Onley James. This is book 3 in the Necessary Evil series, which I suppose you could probably read them on their own if you wanted to, but I would highly recommend reading the entire series. This is book 3, as I said, and it is Atticus Mulvaney's story. So the Mulvaneys are a group of men who have been brought together by Thomas Mulvaney, and all of Thomas's sons are either psychopaths or sociopaths that Thomas has raised to be functional members of society. Atticus, however, does not like the vigilante justice. He hates blood and killing and the messiness of all of it. And he ends up meeting a guy called Jericho on one of his jobs. And Jericho is not a psychopath, but he does have his own brand of vigilante justice, and he enjoys pushing Atticus's buttons. And it's great. This sets up a whole set of side characters who then continue to reappear in the series, including Jericho's brother, who ends up with one of Atticus's brothers. This shouldn't work for me, but it totally does. And it's great. And then my bonus book, which is not orange, but it is peach, which is close enough to orange that I'm going to throw it in here unless I ever do a peach video, ever I do a peach covers video, which I don't know if I've read that many books with peach covers either, but it is the Kiss Quotient Mass Market Paperback Edition by Helen Hoang, which is just such a stunning cover. So yes, I am cheating a little bit and including it in here, but I just wanted to because it's gorgeous. This is a very, very steamy contemporary romance with an autistic female lead character and the male escort that she hires to teach her about intimacy. And it is just a fantastic book. So worth checking out. And yes, I'm glad I bought this cover because it's very, very pretty. All right, so those are my orange romance book cover recommendations. In the comments, I would love to know if you have a favorite romance book that has an orange cover. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.